Trumpet players have to produce a wide variety of sounds. We have to be very mellow sometimes, and then just incredibly brilliant. It's really like acting. That's why I like the trumpet. I am Manny Laureano, and I am the principal trumpet of the Minnesota Orchestra. I was hired back in 1981, so I'm in my 43rd season. When I came in at age 26, I was the kid, and I had a section of gentlemen who were all biologically old enough to be my father. And so now I'm the, I won't say the dad, but I'm the older uncle in the section. These guys are my pride and joy. I have so much fun with them. I am absolutely blessed.
Manny has a deep knowledge of the scores and the history behind the music that we're playing, and he loves to tell stories pretty much all the time, which makes sense because he truly is a storyteller on the trumpet. He changes his style based on the meaning of the music. His focus is always what the music is trying to convey, and he's also very good-humored. We have a lot of fun. It makes it a very positive place to play.
My favorite trombone mute is this one right here, which goes la la. I've been very fortunate to be playing the instruments made by a dear friend of mine named David Monette for the last 40 years. I love playing them. I love the way that I get to express myself. I was born and raised in East Harlem in New York City by my parents, Juan and Pura, who came from Puerto Rico in 1948. I had one of those really wonderful childhoods. I didn't grow up in Puerto Rico, but it was almost like the next best thing. The language was around me all the time because Spanish was my first language, and I spoke that probably for the first 5 years of my life. My parents never played instruments, but there was always music in the house. It was either on the radio or on the TV. When I went to junior high school, they did say, okay, son, here's a mouthpiece. You're going to play trumpet. And I, in the middle of the cacophony of all these kids trying out their instruments for the first time, I actually produced a really nice sound that caught the attention of the band director. And he said, you, keep doing that. And I did. Growing up, I was such a nerd that instead of being out on dates on Saturday nights, I was in front of the TV watching Evening at Pops.
From Symphony Hall in Boston, it's Evening at Pops with Arthur Fiedler, the Boston Pops Orchestra.
And the very first time was because I heard that this Doc Severinsen guy was going to be playing. I was absolutely knocked out of my socks to listen to his relentless, wonderfully expressive, fearless kind of playing. How could I not want to play the trumpet? In the 1990s, Doc was made the Pops director of the Minnesota Orchestra. I had the enormous privilege of being part of a commission of a work written by Stephen Paulus for Doc Severinsen and myself. Getting a chance to meet him and rehearse with him, one of the highlights of my life. So when I finished 8th grade, I wound up receiving a scholarship to go study at the 92nd Street Y with a member of the New York Philharmonic. And after that, wound up going to Music and Art High School and going to Juilliard. And for all the success I'd had in getting into Juilliard, I still didn't really understand the responsibilities of learning the craft. And my teacher told me how disappointed he was in me. And I will never forget this. He said, Laureano, you're no better than you were when you first walked in this door. So I picked up my horn, went to a practice room, and was a different student after that. Sometime in 1977, Emerson, Lake and Palmer were putting together a symphony orchestra to go on tour to promote their Works album. I wound up auditioning, and then I heard about a week later that I was in. And so the first rock concert I ever went to, I was in. Touring with Emerson, Lake and Palmer was a tremendous experience. That kind of energy from a rock crowd, I gotta tell you, that was fantastic. We're in my third home, the Eclectic Martial Arts Dojo in Minnetonka. You know, when you put this uniform on, you can't stay still. You can't stay still. I'm preparing for my exam for my second degree black belt. I'm also going to be teaching my silver belts class as well. The disciplines that are involved in martial arts are so like what you have to experience in music. You have to practice. You have to be flexible. You have to be strong. You have to understand clarity of purpose.
Well, Manny values martial arts for what it gives to him, but he also really values it for his ability to help others. The ability to help others is really key in martial arts. Manny is unflailingly positive, and that positive energy really affects the way he teaches. Some of the things you ask students to do are very hard. Manny will get right down on his hands and knees and do push-ups in their lessons. He'll show them that it's possible.
All right, gotta get you guys ready for Radio City. Face the wall. Kenpo is an ancient art that descends from the Shaolin temples. We need to make sure, as black belt instructors, that the story we tell when we teach is the correct story, that it has not been watered down, and it is the same in music. We musicians have this responsibility to hand down those things that were taught to us. The idea of becoming a music teacher was my original plan. As far as I was concerned, there was no higher calling. In 1988, my wife Claudette and I were offered the opportunity to become the co-directors of the Minnesota Youth Symphonies. In our 32 years, we probably had about 5,000 kids come through our doors. I'm so proud of the work that we did.
One of the most defining moments in my musical upbringing was when Manny assigned his orchestra in MYS, The Rite of Spring, to be played here at Orchestra Hall in 2008. He did the most incredible job of introducing us to this piece. The way that he told the story of the piece, talking about the premiere and the riots that happened, and he got everyone so excited about performing this incredibly hard piece of music. He always believed that everyone on that stage could rise to the occasion. That's a really big deal when you're in high school or even younger and you have the principal trumpet of the Minnesota Orchestra believing that you can play this at a really high level that's really deserving of the music. And having someone believe in you like that as a teenager is worth a lot.
I'm currently in my 10th season as the music director of the Bloomington Symphony Orchestra. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. They absolutely love what they do. And look, it's a lot of fun to be able to share the information that I learn on a daily basis here at this job. You know, all of this that I do, whether it's playing trumpet, whether it's conducting orchestras, whether it's education, it is about something that I love, and that is sharing. I love telling people about what I do for a living and how much damned fun I have at it.